Welcome back for the third part. In this tutorial, we'll be going over some more examples from the video to get a better understanding of how to collect data. As you can see, I have VLC Media Player running the video and I have Notepad++ open from last time. The video is again running in slow motion, and if you remember the shortcuts that are introduced, if you have a Mac, rather than pressing the control, I believe there's a similar key that you can press to skip over the video. For now, we'll just press Shift plus right arrow to skip over a few seconds. I think we skipped a lot. Okay, so it's a serve from B and a pass. Alright, so this time we had, this is, I think I skipped a few sections, a few minutes in the video, so that's why it's starting from B. So it was a B serve followed by an A pass. So this guy initially served the ball. This player received the ball and then passed it for a set to this player, who had to move a few steps. So because he had to move a few steps, I have to say it was a quality set 2, because he doesn't have as many options to set the ball as compared to one of the earlier examples we saw. So let's continue. So if you notice, he was trying to set the ball, but the player from the other team was able to attack the ball before he was able to set, before the player from George Mason University was able to set. So rather than saying A set 2, I would do BA, which is B attack, followed by an A pass, because it was received by a player, a George Mason player. Now this is the second pass, which goes to the other side, so I will record that as well. A pass. In case I didn't mention this before, but to convert the shortcut to the long form, or to expand the shortcut, all you have to do is type the shortcut and press space, and it should automatically expand the word and then allow you to move on. So going back to the video, so it's now a B pass. Now if you notice, the setter didn't have to move much. Let's go back 3 seconds and then watch again how the ball is received, initial pass, and the setter right here didn't have to move much. So team B gets a quality 3 set. So we had 2 A passes followed by a B pass, then a B set of quality 3, because the setter didn't have to move much, which means he has the option to choose to set the ball for a setter here, for a hitter here. He can also set the ball for a hitter here, or he can also set the ball for this player on the left hand side. And as you can see, he sent the ball back to the player on the left, who will then follow up with an attack. So after a B set 3, we have a B attack followed by a point for B. Then we move on to the next line, so we press enter and we wait for the next rally to begin. since the video is in slow motion and you don't want to change the speed all the time, these shortcuts that I mentioned earlier, like shift right arrow or alt right arrow, come really handy at these points. So I'm pressing shift and right, and I'm skipping about 3 seconds, saving me 3 seconds of time, which adds up to a lot. So it was B serve, A pass, A set 3, A attack, and then a B block, followed by a point for B. Let's say that again. I had a mistypo for my A pass, which wasn't working earlier, so now it should work. So now let's go back to the video, and as you can see, it started with a B serve, it went to a A pass received by a player here, then it led to a set of quality 3 led by an attack, and then finally someone from the other team blocked the ball, which led to a point. Now make sure you remember that you can only put a block if it leads to a point. If the ball was touched by someone, if the ball touched someone's hand while they were blocking and it went on for a pass, we do not put a B block here. Rather, we continue by saying A set 3, A attack, and rather than putting a B block, we say a B pass, so we don't count that touch. And I'll give you a real example in a few minutes. Let's move on. So now it's again, since B scored a point, it's a B serve. As you can see, it's received by A, so it's a A pass. It's a A quality set 3. And as you can see, the setter here had the option of setting the ball for this hitter. He also had the option of setting for this hitter, but he chose to set it for this one for whatever reason he picked. So we do A set 3 followed by an A attack, which we are at the moment. So let's go back. And as you can see, the ball went out of bounds and the umpire raised his left hand, meaning the B team gets a point. So rather than after an A attack, we give a point to B, which is denoted by a capital letter B. Now, one thing I want to inform is that, if you choose to write rather than going the shortcut way, and if you start typing like this, these are unacceptable in the Python program. So what I'm trying to say is the pattern has to match. So the first character, the first alphabet, whether it's A or B, has to be a capital, followed by whatever the action is, whether it is a serve or a pass, a set 3, a tag. These are keywords that are defined in the Python program, and it looks for these keywords when it's evaluating the probabilities. So even if you have the same word but it's typed differently, it won't pick up. So it's very important to stay with the format that's set. And finally, to denote a point, it's either a or it's a A or it's a B, and that's how you denote a point. Okay, all right, let's move on. So we see it's again a B serve followed by an A pass. Now this time the setter had to move much, and he wasn't able to set it as good, so we have given it a set 2. It's still acceptable, it's still a good pass, but it wasn't as good as it would have been if he had stayed in its original position. Now what happened was the player attacked the ball, but I think it didn't even touch. It just touched the net and dropped back. At which point they picked it up again. So, in if you want to watch it again, you can do a shift and a left arrow, and it will take you, depending on how far you want to go back. It will take you to the screen, as you can see. So it touches the hand of the other players, so we can say it's a pass by B, right? Because you cannot have a attack followed by a pass. It has to be passed back by a member from the other team. So it's a B pass, and then we can go A pass, A set, and then A attack. So let's see how that is done. So this is an initial pass. This is a now this is, I would give it a set 2, but you can also give it a set 1, because the setter knew that the only option he had was this hitter outside. He couldn't pass it backwards, and the person up front wasn't ready. So you can give it a set 1 followed by an A attack. And let's see what happens now. Now, as you can see, let's go back about 3 seconds or so. So this attack was received by this person on the other team, but this player who just went out of the screen tried to recover the ball, but he was unsuccessful. So rather than counting the last pass, which was done by the player of the other team, rather than doing a B pass and then saying that team A scored a point, just don't include this pass in there, because it was the attack that it really led to a point of A. If you put in a B pass after A attack and before point A, then it's going to it won't give the right statistics of what we are looking for. So just keep this in mind, that if after an attack the ball was unrecoverable, then rather than counting that point, counting that touch, all you have to do is tell who scored the point, and in this case team A did, so they get the serve. Moving on. Now it's a A serve followed by a B pass, and something happened. I don't think they are ready yet. So let's see if we can skip a few seconds. Maybe they had to rotate, or someone had to take a break. So I'm skipping about 3 seconds, and nothing seems to happen. I can choose to skip for about 10 seconds using the Alt and forward, and take longer steps. So it seems like we have skipped something valuable. So let's go back a few seconds. So let's say this was an initial serve followed by a B pass followed by a B quality set 3 and a B attack. It was blocked by members from the George Mason team. So it's a A block, and then it led to a point. Again, make sure if there's a block, it must lead to a point. You cannot have a A block, then a A pass, A set, or A attack, or anything of that sort. A block means it results